Welcome to the Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. It is Wednesday, January the 15th, 2025. The podcast offers a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. We at the Tapestry community call this reading the manna we explore together. It is the spiritual nourishment our souls desire and the sustenance that's required to foster our spiritual growth. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler with you on a spiritual journey, and together we can share insights and interpretations from the daily biblical lectionary reading, which will enrich our spiritual lives. Today's lectionary reading is the ancient story of five women unafraid to use their words to bring about a revolution rather than a rebellion. Let's examine the reading from the Old Testament book of Numbers, chapter 27, verses 1 to 11. Moses, the leader who delivered the community of Israelites after 400 years of slavery in Egypt, was mapping out the division of property that each family group would be receiving when they entered their new homeland. And to do this, he had taken a census of all males over 20. As the five sisters listened to the roll call of families, their father's name was missing. Since he had no sons, but only daughters, his name would be forgotten, and no property in the new homeland would bear his name. The five daughters of the man named Zelophehad were very proud of their father and who they were. Their parents had given them names with the same ending of A-H. Mala, Noah, Hogla, Milcah, and Tirzah. The five sisters faced an uncertain future with no brothers or father to provide for them. Earlier, on the journey in the wilderness, a group of prominent Israelite men and leaders in the community challenged Moses and his brother Aaron's leadership. The leader of that rebellion was named Korah. He accused Moses of exalting himself above the people, stating that everyone in the entire community was already holy and the Lord was among them. Moses had a showdown with Korah, and the Lord came to Moses and Aaron's defense by sending a plague, and several people died, including Korah and those with him. If you'd like to read up on that story, that's in Numbers chapter 16. Zelophehad, whose name means tingling with fear, was his parents' firstborn son. He knew that he would leave his daughters a life of impoverishment without property, but he was timid about what to do. His five daughters knew they needed an inheritance of land to preserve their father's name and to provide for themselves. They saw that the current law was not adequate. It did not consider what would happen if a man only had daughters. The five sisters approached Moses and the entire community in humility. They presented their case to claim the rights of their deceased father and their rights. Their father, they said, Zelophehad, was not part of the rebellion that Korah had raised against Moses, and that he had died a natural death. And so they asked a question of the assembly of men. Why should the name of our father be taken away from his family group? He has no sons, but we are his daughters, and we are asking that you give us property among our father's brothers. Moses brought their case before God because he could not assess the women's claim. He presented their case to the Supreme Court of Heaven, to God Himself, who unequivocally supported the women's requests. The law of Israel was forever and permanently changed, securing an inheritance for any daughter in such a circumstance. The key to the sisters' success was that they were wise women who could bring about a revolution and change a law that came from the revelation at Sinai without causing a rebellion.